how much influence can you exert on other agencies or on government agencies in terms of modernizing regulation, not by influence of negativeness, but a positive influence given by probably good benchmarks and good experiences of other countries. What are your thoughts, Mr. Abdelkader, on this?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Abdullah. Obviously, digital transformation, as far as we are concerned, and this is what I believe in personally, requires minimum regulation. We are used to the type of ex-ante regulation, heavy-handed, bombarded requirements at the beginning of any activity that hinders the activity, and so it does not deliver at the end of the day. And therefore, then we move to the ex-post regulation, which is a transition in a way or another from the ex-ante mentality into the ex-post mentality. And then you do not have the right people and the right entities to handle the situation. And therefore, to get away from ex-ante or departing to ex-post, start with light-handed regulation to give momentum and to lower barriers and to operate openly, really. And there where it comes the issue of transforming the mindset before actually putting in place regulations and papers and strategies and that type of thing. If we're not transformed here, kiss digital transformation goodbye. It doesn't happen. And therefore, we need to have a set of heroes and champions who will take the digital transformation journey, not only across the public sector, but also across the whole spectrum of the society. For example, regulations and laws that are in place, some of them, for example, they are as old as 70 years old. One of them, for example, which handles the confidentiality of documents, it talks about treasuries with keys and 7-digit number, I don't know what, and red table and that type of thing, and it's still in place. Imagine at the time when we talk about cybersecurity, cloud security, and when you come to move from this 70-year-old regime into a newer regime, which takes into consideration the technology aspect of it, you have people who defend the 70-year-old regulation, by the way. We have them, and they're still defending them, and they're causing us a problem with the speed with which we would like to move. Another thing, for example, is that entrepreneurship, for example. Entrepreneurship is the heart of digital transformation. We want and we are working on making youth and young graduates move from the mentality of having a job with the public sector, with the government, or even with the private sector, into making and creating their own business and become employers instead of being employees. And then there you hit so many laws in your way, whether to do with taxation, whether to do with importation of skills, whether to do with so many things. And you have to work on all of this spectrum. And therefore, the digital transformation journey is not easy. It's not about the strategy and the execution plan at all. No, it's a journey that all of us will need to take. I'll give you one more example. I don't want to take a lot of time. Data, for example. Data, we have decided at the Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship to establish what we call a national information system. It's a national data lake, putting together and pulling together all the databases that are available within the public sector. Guess what? People or entities, governmental entities, who collect this data to provide service to the end user. For example, بدك تاخذ جواز سفر, you fill an application, you fill it with data. And that data, some entities, they think they own the data. And therefore, we had to go into firefighting for about 1.5 years to convince, maybe rather to force, certain entities to accept the principle that data is oil and it is a national asset and it should be owned by the state. You do not own it. You host the data. The state, الدولة, is the one which owns the data, and therefore it's a change management journey, you know, that lightly handed benchmarking and talks and discussions and up to the enforcement and to the top-down type of position obligation on certain entities to make the change happen.
Thank you, sir.